As we continue to wrap up our NFL team previews, we head to San Diego to look at the Chargers. Last year they went 7-9, fired Norv Turner, ending his career as a head coach, hired Broncos offensive coordinator Mike McCoy to be their new head coach. The team's going to be based around Phillip Rivers, and the success he has on offense will carry the team or sink the team. He's been on a decline, but that's also because he's had his skill players taken away from him without being replaced by former GM A.J. Smith. Rivers does not make many mistakes, but just hasn't produced like he did a few years ago when he led the Chargers to AFC Championship games. At running back, the team's counting on Ryan Matthews to bounce back. The former 12th overall pick had a horrible 2012. It was a nightmare, breaking the collarbone in his first preseason game, breaking it again later in the season, missing tons of time, and just wasn't effective when he did play. He had a fabulous 2011, so they really hope he bounces back. Then the backup is Ronnie Brown, who doesn't have much left, but he can at least get you by for a guy who's going to get 6 carries a game. Then they signed Danny Woodhead from the Patriots, who's a very good receiving back. Nice compliment to Matthews and Brown. LaRon McClain is your fullback. He's still good, even though he hasn't come close to the numbers he used to put up in Baltimore. We look on the outside to the wide receivers now. Malcolm Floyd, very injury prone, hard to stay on the field, already hurt his knee in camp. Luckily, it's not torn ACL like his teammate Denario Alexander, who's out for the year. Unfortunate for him, his 4th ACL tear. Hate to see that happen to players like that. He's had about 8 knee surgeries. You really hope he's able to bounce back again because he's an excellent talent when healthy. Then they have Eddie Royal, who has never been able to match his rookie season when he had great success with Jay Cutler. Still a good slot receiver if given the chance. You have Vincent Brown, who missed all of 2012 with a broken ankle, but really came on at the end of 2011, the former 3rd round pick. Another 3rd round pick this year's Keenan Allen out of Cal. He struggled a bit in the preseason, will return punts from him. He's a very good talent if they can get on the field. And then you have Robert Meacham, who had a horrible first season when they signed him to replace Vincent Jackson. He's got great speed, but just couldn't produce last year. We moved to tight end, where they have Antonio Gates, one of the all-time greats, but injury prone. Those feet are just not able to get healthy anymore. He's always dealing with nicks and knacks that keep him out of games. We move to offensive line, where it could be one of the worst offensive lines in all of football. King Dunlap won the job from Max Starks, but he's not a guy you really want starting. He's not the great option. We go to Chad Reinhardt, who might be their best offensive lineman at left guard, who's played well in Buffalo. Nick Hardwick is not a Pro Bowl caliber guy anymore. Jerome Clary moves in from tackle to right guard, and he was abused at tackle last year. DJ Fluker drafted 11th overall. Good run blocker, but he's going to struggle against the pass. We move to the defense in their 3-4. Corey Liggett is a great second season. He's going to be the building block for their defense. Kendall Raines was their 2012 2nd round pick and probably their rookie of the year last year on the D-line. Cam Thomas will play the nose, and he's going to become a full-time starter. Dwight Freeney signed to be their pass rush specialist. He wasn't great in Indy's 3-4. He's going to move to D-end on some passing downs. Jarrett Johnson is not a pass rusher, more of a run stuffer. He should be a backup, really, not a great starter. Larry English has been a first-round bust since they drafted him out of Northern Illinois. He just can't get to the passer. And Melvin Ingram begins the season on the PUP, their former first-round pick. Move to the inside. Manti Te'o was great until the Alabama season game last year at Notre Dame. We'll see how he bounces back in the pros. Hopefully no more dead girlfriends come out of the closet. Then we have Donald Butler, who's a good starter but not anywhere close to elite. Their corner and secondary will be a big problem. Shanti Spent Wright, it's 2011 3rd round pick. Derek Cox started 45 games over 4 years for the Jags, but neither one is a great starter. We go to safety. Marcus Gilbright moves from the nickel to safety. He's their 2011 2nd round pick. Eric Weddle is the best player on this defense, all pro from Utah, can do it all from his safety position. You have a below-average kicker in Nick Novak, but you have Mike Scafers, who's a great punter with a very strong leg. And return man Richard Goodman is an explosive returner who can take it to the house anytime. For the San Diego Chargers, I'm predicting a 6-10 record, and it's going to be a long season as they're going to be looking towards the draft in April.